Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Darth Slone. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to find mule deer zones quick. I've already heard some people talking about how they're not in their zones, until like 1700, and they start at 1500 to 1800 drinking. And it's been a thing since they've extended the home ranges, guys. But I know a little trick to show you how to find those zones quicker. Before we hop into it, I'm going to show you my setup, which really, I'm not really hunting right now. If I see something special, I might shoot it. I haven't decided yet, but right now I'm all about finding zones and not in the traditional way. Okay, we're not going to be doing any sneaking. As a matter of fact, we're going to be using the four-wheeler. You heard that correctly. We're going to scare everything in the forest off, but you know what? I don't care, because this is my map and they'll come right back. All I have to do is reset the time, exit the map, they'll be calmed down, and then I can hunt. Right now, I'm just concerned with finding zones and setting my tents up so that I can start that mule deer grind for that great one. So make sure to hang around, guys, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. I'm also looking, I want to give a big, huge shout out to my friend Lady Legend, who has really helped me and mentored me a lot on my content creator path. And basically, I'm looking at her map right now, and the mule deer, if you divide the map down the middle, they are on the left. Let's look and show you what I'm talking about. So right down the middle here, the mule deer are on the left side. So I'm going to just start picking some of these spots and using my four-wheeler. But here's the key. Let me hide my face cam here. Here's one of the key things that you gotta realize is that 1735 right there. It's almost over. My drink time is almost over. What am I doing? That's exactly what I want to do, because I've been in the map a little bit and I want to fast travel around a little. I'm not even going to look really for zones right now. First thing I'm going to do is wake my map up. Okay. I want to give these mule deer time. And I really believe when you first start playing a map, the animals have really not all loaded in yet. So I'm waking my map up. So I'm here. So anything within probably a 500 radius of me, it has activated those maps. The map cannot, and the engine cannot handle all animals just running around at one time. So they're really area awakened, if you will. So what I'm doing is I'm just picking out like some of these outposts and just kind of fast traveling to them. And it's going to tell the map to just kind of activate those mule deer that are in the area and get them moving. And this is really important when a map first comes out. And then after that, it kind of creates cookies. Like once they've been there, then they'll show up a little earlier. But like right now, they've never technically been there yet. So I'm going to come over here, and I've got some zones in this area. So I'm just going to fast travel to this outpost now. What it is they're coming in at the end of the drink time. And that's what I want. I'm going to scare them off anyway. I'm finding the zones not by spotting the animals, but by clicking on their tracks. And then I'm going to take note of where are the huge zones. So right here in this area, there's a pretty good lot of drink zones actually. They're on smaller ponds, if you will. So I'm going to fast travel there real quick. I'm going to fast travel a couple more times, guys, and then we're going to start finding zones. And the first places that I fast traveled to, my theory is those mule deer got activated and they started walking over toward whatever lake they're drinking at. Now they're putting tracks down. I really believe if I hadn't fast traveled in there, they technically would have never been there. Because have you ever gone to a zone and there's no tracks? It's like they've never been there. If it's the very first time you've been there, that's probably why. All right, guys, I just got my first zone by spotting them, actually. This was the last place I was going to fast travel to. This is also where I got trolled by that Manitoban elk earlier. But this is right by an outpost. Don't have to put a tent here. So we got a few mule deer there. That's a pretty good zone. Well, hello, Bartholomew. How are you doing? It's like, you gotta look at me too. I want some attention. Look here, we got zones all around this. And I just fell in the water. All right, so there is my first few zones right there. I want to focus on the top half, top quarter of the map right here. And we're just going to see, you know, I can probably not even have to pull the four-wheeler out on these first two and just kind of spot and find my zones here. Now, I'm not going to find every zone in this video or it would be a gazillion hours long. But what I am going to do is just, you know, kind of show you me finding zones in a few places. There's one. Notice how they just started appearing right there. We were right on the edge of, well, there's a water buck. Water doe, I guess. See how they're just appearing where they're just coming in to render. That's what's going on there. Ooh, there's a nice level 4. A huge zone right here. What was yelling at us there? I probably should have looked. But a lot of mule deer right through there. Good zone. Let's get on down here. I don't do a lot of sneaking. I mean, I'm using the four-wheeler like to find my zones. Once I get set up, you know, I'll be more careful with stuff. But right now, I don't care. Wild, baby. Just wild. Cocked and loaded. There's one. A little solo action. Golly. Look at that. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Good zone right there. And that's the thing too, is right there. So those first two have outposts right on them. So that's pretty sweet. Now we're going to start getting into some of our four-wheeler action. Now it is going to get dark on us because you can do this, guys, for 4 or 5 in-game hours at least. Like, so the zone ends, the drink time ends at 1800. You can go probably all the way up to 2200 at least. That's about as far as I go because I'm afraid that there is an expiration on it and they start disappearing. But I'm going to turn my light on because as it starts getting dark, you'll start missing some of these. See, look. Oh, it's a frozen lake. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let's just see where they're drinking at. Well, looks like they're drinking right in the middle of the lake here. So we'll hop off here. 10 mule deer here, guys. See, that's the concept, though. On a normal lake, I would just drive around the exterior of it, which we are going to do right here in a second. There we go. Okay. Looks like that got all the mule deer here. So, but let's see. We are there. So now I'm going to go over to this lake. All right, over at this lake, I already see some zones here. We'll hop off here. And there's one solo. That's a male. All right, guys, here we are on the map. I've checked some of these other places here, and we don't have any through there. Didn't have one there, but like I said, sometimes I'll tell you something happens too. You get these big super zones that have like 10 or more mule deer in them. You start shooting them. Sometimes they don't spawn back, and that's what happens. They start forming other zones in some of these other places. So just because you don't have a zone there now doesn't mean you won't. So every now and then you gotta check that. There's a solo right there, but over here, oh, that's bighorn sheep. Yeah, bighorn sheep. So we had a solo drinking over here. And then we'll come on down here. Okay, looks like we got some action down here. Hope it's not bighorn sheep. 8 mule deer drinking right there, guys. Eight right there. And a cool little feature too, if you can kind of guesstimate where you're going to want to put your tent, like my tripod or something right through there, which I'll set up later, but I can hit that R button right there and that shows me which way I should go. So now I'll go up through there and I'll put me a tent down you know, 250 meters away or something. So there you go, guys. See, you know, got a nice little zone down there. Potentially, they could be all 8 females for all we know. But I will probably, since I can't see it, I'll probably come down through here, get to where I can see real good. And put me a tripod. I'll just have to run down here. We don't want to spawn in too close and scare them. I'll put me a tripod right through here. That'll lift me up just enough over that berm right there to be able to see, yeah, to be able to see what's down there. They formed a zone here. So they might have just walked across that pond. Maybe they're not drinking there. I don't know. But here's a nice zone with 7 in it. So now what I like to do is, there's where the big group is. So I'll just pull my binoculars out again. Just right here. Where's going to be a good vantage point, you know? Probably up here somewhere. Probably up here somewhere. So somewhere in this vicinity, I'm going to head that way and try to get me a tent up there and get to where I can see this area real good. And we're right here on the map. And I'll be heading here next, but I already have a tent there. Put a tent down there when I was opening the map. Okay, this lake looks a little more promising. Yeah, here. Eight drinking here. Okay, a lot better. 8 drinking here. Okay. So, they're drinking over here on this side. Where would be a good place? If I was a tent, where would I want to live? Maybe up in here somewhere. If I can go back through there, put a tent, and then come in here. That's the way it's looking. We are right here. So, this will probably be one of those that I choose to shoot down. All right, guys, here we go with the zone. Look at that. Now, this zone, the first go around, it was not here. So sometimes that happens, and that's going to happen whether you're on the ground spotting or using a 4-wheeler. It just, when you're on a brand new map, the animals just haven't gotten to their places yet. So it's going to get better and better as time goes. So let's look. Huge mungus, 8 right there. I don't know if there's a split herd or if this is just 8 here. Who knows? But there we are. Where are we going to get? We want the high ground, right? So probably somewhere up in there. Put me a marker right there. Cruise up there. Put me a tent down. I'm going to get up there, and we are right here. But guys, that's how you find zones quickly. I'm just using the 4-wheeler. And you can see I reset my time, actually. My face cam's covering it up. But it's 18:13, and I reset my time. This is just the second time. I've only been doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes. Now, that's on a 4-wheeler. Imagine how much time that's going to take on foot. That's why I love doing it this way. Anyway, guys, use the 4-wheeler. Set the time for about 17:30. And fast travel to a few places first to let the animals start moving. And then hop on that 4-wheeler and go find them. Guys, if I've ever helped you in any way, please do me a favor and hit that free subscribe button. Like it, comment below, turn the notification on. Join us in live streams. Usually, unless I'm grinding for mule deer, usually we will play with the community, especially the fishing games. We might do some multiplayer hunting games, you know, and nobody getting on my map when I'm grinding for mule deer, you know what I'm saying? And I advise you not to either, you know. That's when you find out who your friends are and they come on your map and shoot your great one that you grinded up. You know, you don't want that happening. But anyway, guys, my name's Darth Slone. We'll catch you